And a very pleasant good evening, baseball fans, and welcome to the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament here in Wasilla, Alaska. Coming to you live from Bumpus Fields. My name is Josh Eldridge. Thank you so much for joining us on day number 1 of this tournament. We'll be here all week long. Very excited for our coverage, which begins today as the Wasilla Road Warriors, our host team for the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament, is hosting the Palmer Pioneers today. Wasilla 6-1 entering play. They are in second place in their league. These two teams actually share the same league. Palmer 2-5. They are towards the bottom of their conference. These two teams have met already this season, but the first of 7 games. 7 games over the next 3 days here at Bumpus Fields, featuring these two Alaskan teams, the Klamath Falls Falcons from Klamath Falls, Oregon, and then, of course, the Madisonville, Kentucky Rangers from Madisonville, Kentucky. It's going to be a great couple of days here in Wasilla. Thank you for joining us. We're going to step aside real quick and recognize some of our sponsors from back in Oregon. That's where I'm from, but lucky enough and gracious enough to be able to have the broadcast here on AlaskaLegion.com. Thank you so much for being with us today, and we'll be sure to talk up some of the folks who make today's broadcast possible from Wasilla, Alaska. So one quick step aside, then we'll come back, introduce you to the starting lineups, get ready for first pitch. That's all coming at you in just a moment. The Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament.
Pacific Power works day in and day out to power our communities because we know our neighbors rely on us. We're trimming and clearing branches around poles and lines, protecting our system, and giving you real-time updates when storms roll in. You can count on us in all seasons. 24/7, we're here for you. Powering your greatness.
The cars we drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Klamath Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Klamath Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
As a parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
Josh Eldridge back with you from Bumpus Fields in Wasilla, Alaska for the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament here on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com. Thank you so much for being able to find our live stream today as we get ready for the first game and the only game of day 1 between Palmer and Wasilla. The Road Warriors taking on the Pioneers. Looks like we're just about set for first pitch. So we introduce you the man on the mound for Wasilla. That's Ramon Guzman. He actually leads off the batting order, but gets started against a lineup from Palmer that goes like this. Number 1, and stepping in the right-handed batter's box now is the third baseman, Chase Carlson, as we get ready for the first pitch. It's an upstairs fastball that is swung on and missed. The count is 0-1 as we get started just about 1 minute ahead of schedule today, 6:29 Alaskan Daylight Time. It's a bit of a breezy afternoon for baseball. Another fastball this time finds the outside corner. The count 0-2 to Carlson. 58 degrees and cloudy here in Wasilla. As the 0-2 pitch on the way from Guzman. Goes again outside heater, 3 straight fastballs, and sets down Carlson for the first out of the ballgame. Carlson will be followed in the order that goes like this for Palmer. Batting second at shortstop is Reed Kramer, and the first baseman bats third, Corey Otto. Timothy Bridgman, the second baseman, hits cleanup. Batting fifth is Hayden Sherman in left field. Easton Cook, the designated hitter, bats sixth. Hitting seventh is Tristan Berry in center field. Batting eighth is Hudson Broder in right field, and Wyatt Beal, the catcher, rounds out the order for Palmer. We got a timeout on the field. Looks like something down the first base side, I believe, but seem to be about ready to go. The right-hander for Wasilla, Ramon Guzman, class of 2025 with Wasilla. He fires in a strike, and it's a nice location there to get ahead. I believe the count is 0-2. Missed the first pitch of the at-bat, but now again working from the windup is Guzman. We'll take a look at the numbers for him here in just a second as he goes upstairs with a fastball. And now, the count is a ball and 2 strikes to him. For Guzman, this is his second start of the summer, only one previous appearance. He went 6 1/3 innings, picking up the win, giving up 2 hits and 3 runs, and striking out 8 batters. Here he comes with the 1-2 pitch, goes outside, misses wide. The count is 2-2. That outing for Guzman, again, 6 1/3, nearly going the distance for the win. Well, that came back on June 14th. So it's been some time off for the right-hander. And now the count runs full, 3-2. Like I said, his team 6-1 coming into play today. Their last time out, a 12-0 win. That was yesterday. Here's a pitch that's popped up, out of play, foul behind first, and so the count remains full, 3-2. Again, after Craner in the order, it's Cody Otto, the first baseman. 1 out, top of the first inning. Only just getting started this week-long tournament in Wasilla. Guzman gets the sign and delivers the pitch. It's hit in the air, right field, carrying the right fielder Johnson going back, but he is able to make the catch for the second out in the first inning. Around the diamond for Wasilla, Berta is catching. Sivilich is at third, Vini at short with Perez at second, and Halverson is over there at first. In the outfield from left to right, it's Wheeler, Russell, and Johnson. So 2 outs in the inning. The left-handed bat of Cody Otto gets ready to step in for Palmer. The first pitch is a ground ball out towards second. Perez fields it cleanly, and the throw on to first is in time. The Pioneers go down in order to start the ball game. Wasilla a chance to strike first when we come back on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends. Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Just getting set for the bottom of the first inning. Game number 1 of day 1 at the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament here at Bumpus Field in Wasilla, Alaska. Our coverage on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com brought to you by the Alliance, in charge of running most things to do with American Legion Baseball here in Alaska. Also operating the high school conference, the Cook Inlet Conference in high school. They work alongside the Anchorage School District and, again, pretty much do everything on behalf of Legion Baseball in here in Alaska. So big thanks to the Alliance for sponsoring today's broadcast on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com and allowing us to cover every single game of the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament. Other sponsors which we'll highlight as the game goes on today: Alaska Sports Report and Alaska Airlines, sponsors of today's event, as well as Alaska 529, which is the sponsor of the tournament in Anchorage as well, which I'll be fortunate enough to be able to go over there and broadcast for our own group. I'm a member of the Klamath Falls Falcons broadcast team, and the Falcons get set to begin play in Wasilla tomorrow, but was lucky enough to be able to broadcast broadcast every game of this tournament. So, again, thank you for joining us today as we get ready for the top of the order for Wasilla. Leading off for them is going to be the pitcher, Ramon Guzman. He's followed in the order by the right fielder, Jacob Johnson. Chase Sivelich is the third baseman. He hits third. Jaron Vini is the shortstop. He hits fourth. Waylon Halverson, the first baseman, batting fifth. Gabe Wheeler, the left fielder, is going to be batting sixth. Hitting seventh is Bridger Berta, the catcher. Aiden Perez, the second baseman, is batting eighth. And we've got Russell, the center fielder, batting ninth for Wasilla. Looks like the count is 2-0 early in this at-bat. And that one, again, missing low. The count now 3-0. And so an early opportunity at a base runner for Wasilla. Guzman was able to get out of the first inning pretty much unscathed, and he works a 4-pitch walk here. Good start to the ball game for him as Wasilla earns a base runner here in the bottom of the first inning. Man on the mound for Palmer is Clay Wood. We'll take a statistical outlook at him in just a second as we see Jacob Johnson settle into the left-handed batter's box for Wasilla. Made a night for Clay Wood this season. This will be his first start of the summer. Only one appearance in relief so far this year. He pitched 2/3 of an inning, and he did not give up any runs or hits in that brief stint. So really the first chance that almost anyone's going to be able to get a look at him this summer as he gets ahead of Johnson. And the count is 0-1. Another move over to first, and again, back safely is the runner over there, Guzman. Up next in the order is Chase Sivelich for Wasilla, showing bunt and trying to lay it down. It goes straight back, and the count is now 0-2 to Johnson. Johnson, class of 2027, so he will be a junior next season here in Wasilla. Handful of guys have already graduated high school. A couple of guys out of their first year of college here on this Wasilla squad. As I believe that pitch was fouled back into the glove of the catcher, in the books as a strikeout. And this will bring up Chase Sivelich. Starting at third base today for Wasilla. Again, the numbers for him on the season. We'll take a look after the first pitch as Wood gets ready to deliver out of the stretch. Here it comes. It's an inside fastball that misses off the inside corner. The count is 1-0 to Sivelich. Sivelich batting .353 to start the summer, leads the team in runs scored, and he sends a line shot to center field. And that'll get down for a base hit. They're waving Guzman into third. The throw is cut off, and he's going to get in there safely. And then advancing on the throw is Sivelich. So two men in scoring position now for the cleanup hitter. It's going to be Jaron Vini. And only one out in the inning. A great RBI opportunity here for Vini, who is batting .421 to start the summer. And his 5 RBI. All right, getting set for the top of the second inning between Palmer and Wasilla. Still scoreless on day number 1 of the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament being played here at Bumpus Fields, tucked in the Matsu Valley in Wasilla, Alaska. The first pitch on the way is a line drive to shortstop, but gloved out there at short as Bridgman goes down on the first pitch. He sees one away in the inning. Squared up that pitch nicely, but sent it right out to the shortstop. Vini hardly had to move to put that one away. This will bring up Hayden Sherman for Palmer. Visitors today is Wasilla, of course, the host team, playing at their home field. Okay, apologies for the interruptions. Looks like we are back on AlaskanLegionBaseball.com. Had a little bit of trouble with the internet connection out here. To be expected on day number 1 of the tournament. Hope to have everything ironed out tomorrow as the tournament continues tomorrow. By the way, what you missed was a fly ball to right field to end the inning from Easton Cook. And so, again, Palmer went down in order in the top of the second inning. And so Clay Wood will get back on the hill for Palmer as we head to the bottom of the second inning. But again, the tournament continues tomorrow. And coming up as we look ahead, we'll start at 11 a.m. as Palmer will take the field against the Madisonville Rangers from Kentucky. Madisonville will come back and they'll play Wasilla at 1:30 before the Klamath Falls Falcons take the field at 4 o'clock tomorrow. They'll play Palmer in the first game, and then they'll match up against Wasilla in the nightcap at 6:30 on Tuesday. And then Wednesday rolls around. The Falcons have a single game against the Madisonville team, the Rangers, before a title game is decided at 4 o'clock on Wednesday. So we are about ready to start the bottom of the second inning. And the first pitch misses outside. The count is 1-0. I believe this is Halverson, Wheeler Halverson at the plate as he rolls a ground ball out towards short. Crater has a little bit of trouble with it and is unable to make the play. So reaching on the error that time is going to be Waylon Halverson. And he is aboard at first to start the inning. Now, Wasilla, was able to get 2 men in scoring position in the bottom half of the first, but were unable to do anything with it as a fly out to second base, and then the second baseman, Bridgman, just sort of took it to the second base bag himself. It was a hard line drive, and the runner advanced without freezing, and so, well, there you have a F4 unassisted double play to get out of the first, but now maybe a little bit of an adjustment on the base paths as Wasilla's Gabe Wheeler, the left fielder, settles in. It was a move over to first before we get the first pitch. He lifts a fastball to shallow right field. The second baseman moves over to make the play, and Bridgman puts it away for the first out. Well, now stepping in is the catcher, Bridger Berta, for Wasilla, batting from the right side. So we'll take a look at Berta so far this season for Wasilla. He'll bat here with 1 out and a runner aboard at first. We might not have time. As he takes a look at the first pitch, he swings and sends a line drive to center field. That's going to get by the center fielder Barry. A diving effort, but it just snuck under his glove, and a double is going to put 2 men in scoring position. Advancing to third on the plate was Halverson, and then Berta in there at second after the double. And so now 2 men in scoring position for Aiden Perez, the starting second baseman for Wasilla. Perez this season, these guys are swinging early in that bat. He's hitting .364. First pitch swinging for him as well. It's a ground ball towards third base. Throw on to first, picked out of the dirt, and a nice play by the first baseman, Otto. Both runners stay put as well. And so already 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning. Like I said, both teams swinging early in these at-bats, at least through the first inning, and now already 2/3 of the way through the bottom of the second. Number 9 hitter stepping in now for Wasilla is Cade Russell. Russell will wait the first pitch from Wood. He swings at the first pitch, pops it up at a play foul. The count is 0-1. Russell this season batting .278 for Wasilla. Like I said, they enter 6-1 on the season, a 12-0 win their last time out there. On June 15th, a 5-4 loss to Palmer there. It was actually a split of a doubleheader where they won the opening game 7-6 in extra innings. Line drive center field. Coming in is the center fielder Barry, and he makes the catch to end the inning. So again, the Road Warriors leave 2 men stranded in scoring position as we go to the top of the third on AlaskanLegionBaseball.com.
Drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Klamath Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers. which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Clown Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
Tristan Berry, Hudson Broder, and Wyatt Beal. That's 7, 8, 9 due up for Palmer in the top of the third inning. Still looking for our first runs of the ball game. Wasilla has been close a couple of times, but is yet to pull all the way through. Ramon Guzman dealing through the first 2 innings for him. It has been 6 up and 6 down for Palmer, and they look to change pace a little bit for themselves. Again, day number 1, only 1 game today at the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament. 4 games tomorrow, and then 2 with a championship game coming up on Wednesday. So just kind of easing into the tournament. Appreciate you being with us on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com. I know we've had a couple of issues to get started today, but again, I appreciate you for sticking with me through all of those. As we get ready for Barry to step in the box. Bats from the right side against Guzman. And from the windup, here's the pitch. It misses high and in. The count is 1-0. Take a look at the stats on the season for Barry here in just a moment as we await the 1-0 pitch. It's a line drive to right center field and a base hit. Again, these guys swinging early, not letting me give him proper credit for themselves on the season, but we'll say that he's hitting .235 on the year. And that is his 5th base hit of the summer. He leads off the top of the third inning. And this will bring up Hudson Broder, the starting right fielder for Palmer. Looking at Broder on the season, he's batting .211 through his first 20 plate appearances. He has got 4 base hits. Move over to first. And back safely is that runner at first, Barry, not going anywhere. So Broder, the number 8 hitter in the order. Wyatt Beal, the catcher, waits on deck for Palmer. Set is Guzman on the hill. Takes pause and delivers the pitch. It's a fastball elevated in the zone and fouled off. The count is 0-1. Pretty nice outlook on the outfield. We're just nestled in between the trees here. Of course, this is my first time here in Wasilla, Alaska, but it's kind of a private, intimate place to watch a ball game. Here's the pitch. It's a curveball, looped it in there, thought it might have found the zone, looks like a missed upstairs. The count is a ball and a strike to Broder. Hudson Broder with the Palmer Pioneers. Class of 2027, so he'll be a junior next season. As Guzman again takes pause after coming set, takes a move over to first, but diving back safely is Barry. Nothing doing over there, at least not yet, for the right fielder, the center fielder over there on base for Palmer. Pitch on the way is a high fastball, swung on and missed. They try to backdoor Barry at first, but the throw winds up down the line in right. Now advancing to second on the error is Barry. Again, it was a swing and a miss on the pitch. The count will be a ball and 2 strikes, but now a runner in scoring position with nobody out. And, well, Palmer now with their own chance to score the first run of the ball game. Wasilla squandered 2 chances so far, and Palmer now with the first runner in scoring position of the ball game. Guzman going to try to buckle down. Again, he's in a 2-strike count. About a 6-step lead off of second for Barry. Guzman. Here's the pitch. Curveball, lofted foul down the first base side. Count will remain a ball and 2 strikes. Real battle brewing As Broder trying to knock in that opening run. The shortstop, Vini, trying to hold the runner honest out there at second base. Guzman comes set, takes a look at him. But the middle infielders return home. Now the second baseman, Perez, goes over to cover the bag. Pitch is a high fastball, swung on and missed, but it pops out of the catcher's glove. He recovers and throws down to first in time for the out. Drop third strike. Runner is out there at first, but advancing to third on that play was Tristan Berry. And so he's just 90 feet away from scoring with one out. And now you've got the number 9 hitter in the order, and that is Wyatt Beal. Taking a look at Beal this season for Palmer, batting .200 on the year. He's got 1 RBI coming into this at-bat. Looking for another. Trying to help his team get out in front in the first game of the tournament. Pitch on the way. It's an off-speed pitch that misses outside. Looked to be a slider from Guzman. The count 1-0. Guzman's elevated that fastball nicely against Palmer this first time through the order, but this time starting out the number 9 hitter with that breaking ball away. This time he goes with the hard stuff away and finds the zone. The count even, a ball and a strike. Wyatt Beal will be class of 28, so he just wrapped up his freshman year in Palmer. Here he hits one high, deep to left field. Going back is the left fielder, Wheeler. That one will two-hop the wall, and Palmer strikes first on the RBI double from Wyatt Beal. And that is how we get our first run of the ball game. Palmer leads 1-0. Back to the top of the order now for Chase Carlson. Carlson on the game is 0 for 1 so far today. Palmer batted back to, he batted for Palmer back to lead off the first inning. He struck out swinging on 3 straight pitches. So hoping for a better turnout for him in this at-bat, and he'll do it with a runner in scoring position. Still only 1 out. See if Palmer can try to put up a crooked number here in the top of the third inning. That time the Pioneers as well able to get out in front of that high fastball, and if you can get on top of that high fastball and drive it, that's where you're going to have some luck. Palmer, like I said, has been swinging early and often. That's what they've been trying to do, but Beal was the first one to really break through and give it a ride. Almost left the yard. 324 down either line here at Bumpus Fields. 350 to left and right center. 390 to straightaway center field. The count is 0-1 to Carlson, and Guzman will step off. Check the runner over there at second. It looks like Sawyer Leengang has checked in to run for the catcher Beal out there, so Leengang at second. The only substitution available for Palmer today. I imagine that's where he'll get most of his use. Curveball misses high and in. The count is even. A ball and a strike to the leadoff hitter and third baseman Chase Carlson. Carlson for Palmer this season. Well, he hasn't gotten a ton of opportunity yet. Still looking for his first base hit in 9 tries this season. Goes with the fastball, produces a swing and a miss, does Guzman. That one about belt high off the outside. The count is a ball and 2 strikes. On deck is Reed Craner. 1 out in the inning, and Palmer already struck for 1 run in this frame. They lead 1-0. Pitch from Guzman is a fastball outside, swung on and missed, and Carlson goes down on strikes for the second time today. And now with 2 away, still a runner in scoring position is Reed Craner. Now, Craner flew out in his first at-bat, so 0 for 1 today. But an opportunity still with that man out there in scoring position. A real modest lead for Leengang off a second. Not really much to speak of, but the shortstop, Vini, still holding him honest over there. Now the second baseman, Perez, comes to check on him for the pitch home. Ground ball right back up the middle and into center field. They're giving Leengang the windmill. He's going to come in and score without a throw. And an RBI single for Craner gives Palmer a 2-0 lead. Well, that's what they teach you to do. Send it right back where it came from. And a ground ball up the middle. Wasilla decided to just eat that one and allow the run to come in to score. Again, now it's 2-0. with Palmer in front, and the number 3 hitter due up now is Cody Otto. Now Otto also 0 for 1 in the ballgame. He grounded out back in the first inning, but Palmer seeing the ball a little bit better. Second time through the order against Guzman. Again, they've built themselves out a 2-0 lead here in this inning. Guzman set and takes pause, enough pause for Cody Otto to want to call a timeout. Guzman comes set, and he really does take his time to make a motion towards the plate. And controlling the tempo important for pitchers of any level. And Guzman certainly trying his best to do that here. First pitch is rolled out to the right side of the infield. Up with it is the second baseman, Perez. The throw is a wild one. Won't get the runner. They are sending around Craner to score all the way from first, and he will. Score now 3-0. The runner, Otto, wound up at second after the error, and another error this inning. Second error this inning for Wasilla. Trying to get out of this inning, but now find themselves down 3 against Palmer. Stepping in now is Timothy Bridgman, the second baseman for Palmer. And the delivery into him is a fastball that misses upstairs, 1-0. Guzman up over 30 pitches now. 2 outs in the third inning. And Bridgman is 0 for 1 today. Guzman set, and the pitch is an outside fastball that's called a strike, 1-1. Good location there for Guzman. He's trying to find that outside corner to these righties, but he's left a couple over the middle that's allowed Palmer to grab a couple of hits this inning. Pitch on the way is a curveball, misses below the knees. The count is 2 balls and a strike. Inning started with a single from Tristan Berry. He was able to advance to second on a throwing error and came in to score when Wyatt Beal doubled. That's how Wasilla got the first run this inning. Later on, it was Reed Craner who had a single that knocked in Lingang. He was the one who came in to run for Beal, the catcher. And, of course, most recently, that error that Otto was able to reach on, scoring Craner. And so there you go, 3 runs this frame off a couple errors from Wasilla. The 2-2 pitch misses low. The count now runs full, 3-2. Shortstop Vini just trying to keep the runner over there safely. Otto, not a huge lead off of second base. Strike 3 looking on the outside fastball. Wasilla able to get out of this inning, but not before Palmer scores 3 runs on 3 base hits, and they leave a runner stranded. They lead 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the third next on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
Pacific Power works day in and day out to power our communities because we know our neighbors rely on us. We're trimming and clearing branches around poles and lines, protecting our system, and giving you real-time updates when storms roll in. You can count on us in all seasons. 24/7, we're here for you. Powering your greatness.
Back with you, bottom of the third inning. Palmer leading Wasilla 3-0 in game number 1, bottom of the third inning of the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament here in Wasilla, Alaska. Today's broadcast on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com, brought to you by Alaska Sports Report. Check them out online, connecting everything that's going on in the 49th state right there on AlaskaSportsReport.com. So as we get set for the bottom of the inning, It's going to be the top of the Wasilla order. And the count of ball and a strike to Ramon Guzman, who's followed in the order by Jacob Johnson. All right, so it was a fly ball to center field to start the inning. And now the count is 1-0 to Jacob Johnson, make it 2-0. So one out in the bottom of the third inning. Again, the score is 3-0. The Pioneers leading the Road Warriors here in game number 1. Delivery on the way, and the pitch from Wood in the zone. The count 2-1. Nice inside fastball to the left-handed hitter Johnson, who is 0 for 1 today. And the pitch hit in the air, center field again. Another chance for Barry out there. Comes in a few steps and will make the catch for the second out in the bottom of the third inning. And that will bring up Chase Sivelich for the Wasilla Warriors. Sivelich so far 1 for 1 in the ball game. He would have singled back in the first inning. First pitch to Sivelich misses outside. The count is 1-0 as Wood goes off speed with that pitch. Check on the numbers for Sivelich so far this summer. We might not get a chance. He sends a ground ball to third, past the diving glove of Carlson and into left field, and a base hit. Sivelich picking up there his 8th hit of the summer and his 6th single, getting on base with 2 outs in the bottom of the third, and that will bring up Jaron Veeney. Third hit of the day is a team for Wasilla, and again, now that makes Sivelich 2 for 2. First pitch on the way, fastball. And the count is 1-0. Tall batting stance from the right side with Veeney. The runner is on the move. The pitch is low, and Beal's not going to have a chance to make the throw down. And so advancing to second with the steal is Sivelich. And for him, that is his 7th stolen base of the season. He's yet to be caught, and so adding another there. Here's a high fly ball, shallow left field. Looks playable for the shortstop, Craner, who makes the catch on the cut of the outfield grass for the third out. Again, Wasilla gets a man in scoring position, but unable to get him across. As we go to the top of the fourth inning, the Pioneers lead the Road Warriors 3-0 on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Getting set for the top of the fourth inning at the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament. The first game of the first day, the only game of day one, really, as Palmer leads Wasilla 3-0 for the Pioneers. 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 error. For the Road Warriors, no runs on 3 hits. They've committed 2 errors. And due up this inning for Palmer is going to be 5, 6, and 7 in their order. That's Hayden Sherman, Easton Cook, and Tristan Berry. As we welcome you back to the ball field, home of the Wasilla Road Warriors. And we are ready to go. Pitch on its way is called a strike. Looked to be a 2-seam fastball outside from Guzman. Still working into the 4th inning of his start today. Only 2 of the 3 runs that Palmer has scored today have been earned. Again, those errors have helped out the Pioneers quite a bit. Here's a ground ball out to third. Sivelich is able to make the play onto first, and a nice job by Halverson over there at first to pick that one out of the dirt and record the out. 1 away in the top of the 4th inning. This will bring up Hayden Sherman, who is 0 for 1 today in the contest. Sherman is starting in left field today for Palmer. All right, settles in against Guzman, who will work from the windup. And the pitch. That one's an elevated fastball lined right out to second, and Perez hardly again has to move for the second out in the 4th inning. This will be the 3rd meeting between these 2 teams this season. The first went the way of the Road Warriors, a 7-6 final. This was back on June 15th. The second game went to the Pioneers 5-4, so a pair of 1-run ball games between these 2 squads earlier this summer. First pitch from Guzman, hard, firm fastball on the outside corner to the right-handed hitting Berry for strike 1. Berry is 1 for 1 today. And the pitch is a curveball, skips away, and it's 1-1. Berry will be followed in the order by Hudson Broder. Pitch on the way from Guzman, the 1-1. It's an outside fastball. Again, misses there, 2-1. In fact, that one win that Palmer took from Wasilla not only ended a 5-game winning streak they had going into that game, but handed them their only loss of the season so far, as they are 6-1. Line drive, right field, base hit, a 2-out knock there for Tristan Berry. He is 2 for 2 in the contest. And the 4th hit of the day for Palmer will bring us to Hudson Broder. Broder on the season for Palmer is hitting .211. 4 hits in 19 tries for him. But a good opportunity here to try to continue the 2-out rally for Palmer. Guzman set, and the pitch is an inside fastball called a strike, trying to jam up the righty on that one. The count is 0-1. Broder today is 0 for 1. Small lead off the first, not much to speak of for Berry, only about 2 or 3 steps. Guzman again takes pause after coming set. Now the delivery goes slider and gets a swing and a miss. The count is 0-2 to Broder, with Beal waiting on deck for Palmer. Right-handed hitter settles back in. Broder, class of 27 at Palmer, will wear one on the front arm there. And that will advance the runner to second as well. So 2 men on and 2 out for the number 9 hitter, Wyatt Beal. Flash you back to last inning when Beal had that double to help Wasilla get ahead. It was in the top of the 3rd inning when Beal sent a deep fly ball, probably the hardest hit ball we've had yet in the ball game, to left field, and had an RBI there. Made the score 1-0 at the time in the 3rd inning. Obviously, Palmer has built on it since then, but another good opportunity here for the catcher for Palmer. He'll take strike 1. Firm fastball about knee-high, outer third from Guzman. This is a big test here for Guzman, who was able to start this inning with 2 quick outs, but has since given up a single and hit the next batter. Finds himself in a little bit of hot water with 2 outs in the inning. And a foul ball, looks like that might have caught Beal on the top of the foot or the ankle or something. But the count now is 0-2. A chance for Guzman to get the guy that, well, did the damage to him last inning in the third. Small lead off of second for Barry, and even pretty aggressive lead off of first for Broder. And a curveball will miss below the knees, bounce to the plate. The count is 1-2 strikes. Berta doing a nice job behind the dish there for Wasilla, trying to keep that ball in front of him, and especially with that runner in scoring position, got to be a backstop back there. Guzman again comes set, takes a deep breath before delivering the 1-2 pitch. Here it comes. Goes fastball away, line drive center field, straight out to Russell. He'll make the catch and retire the side. The Pioneers get one base hit in the inning. They leave two stranded, no runs, but they lead 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Getting set for the bottom of the fourth inning, a game in which Palmer, the Pioneers, lead the Wasilla Road Warriors 3-0. Due up this half for Wasilla will be 5, 6, and 7 in their order. Waylon Halverson, Gabe Wheeler, and Bridger Berta as they try to get something going down by 3 runs. Championship game here at the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament set to be played on Wednesday. Hoping that we get that game in. Last year, the tournament game was rained out, and Wasilla had made the championship game last season against West Anchorage, but was, of course, unable to play in that tournament. Unable to play in that tournament championship, at least, so they are hungry to get back on that grand stage. But again, right now, they are trailing Palmer 3-0. The first pitch is fouled back. The count is 0-1 to Halverson, who is 0 for 1 in the contest. Delivery on the way from Wood is swung on and missed. The count is now 0-2. Flashing back to 2023 of this tournament, the first time an Oregon team had ever won it. The Eugene Challengers defeated Lower Columbia from Washington 11-0 in the championship game of this tournament back in 2023. As that pitch misses low and away, the count 1-2. Like I said, Wasilla hoping to get back to the championship game. That appearance in 2024 was the first time they had made the championship game since 2016. They actually won it that year when they defeated a team from Hawaii 15-7. Wasilla has won this tournament now 3 times in its history. Of course, that one in 2016. They also won it in 2006, and they won it in 2003. It's a ground ball towards second. Bridgman boots it. Tough ball to get to. Be curious how they wind up scoring that one. What we do know is that Halverson is aboard at first with nobody out. Again, a tough ball for Bridgman, to get to, but wasn't able to field it cleanly. I would probably go base hit on that play, but we'll see how they score Halverson reaching first there. Well, they're going to say he reached on the error, and so that'll be the second error committed by Palmer today. And it allows that leadoff runner to get on base. First pitch into Wheeler is taken for a strike. 0-1. Wheeler is 0 for 1 in the contest today. As they move over to first and back safely is Halverson. This tournament first began in the year 2000. A team from Oregon actually made it to the championship game that year. They lost to the service team 5-3. Here's a ground ball left side of the infield and through for a base hit. Wasilla in business in the bottom of the fourth inning. A couple of leadoff base runners, and the tying run will be at the plate for Bridger Berta. Bridger Berta on the season for Wasilla as he looks to come up big for his squad here. We take a look at the season numbers. He is second on the team in hitting, really leading the team in hitting, though. Bolin is ahead of him, but a far smaller sample size, only 4 at-bats. He's 2 for 4. But Berta is 8 for 17 to start his summer. And a quick meeting on the mound will allow us to recognize some of the sponsors at AlaskaLegionBaseball.com and some of the sponsors for our broadcast today. Want to give a shout out to Alaska Airlines. That's actually how I got to the great state of Alaska today. Boarded my first flight from Medford, Oregon at 6 o'clock this morning. Made it to Seattle by about 7:15 or so, somewhere in there. And then was on a plane from Seattle to Anchorage at 8 o'clock. 3.5 hours later, found myself at an Airbnb with a nice little rental car. And, well, it wouldn't have been possible without Alaska Airlines. So big thanks to everyone who was so kind to me on the plane today. And, well, I'm sure I'll be seeing them again next Monday when I return home to Oregon. But it looks like we are about ready to resume play. Wood sticking around in the ball game. And it will be Bridger Berta to bat with 2 on and nobody out. Bottom of the fourth inning, and Palmer leads Wasilla 3-0. Berta showing bunt, and Wood is going to come set and not deliver the pitch until Berta called time. And so now the Palmer defense will be able to adjust to the potential for a bunt being laid down here by Berta. Wood back on the rubber. He comes set. We'll see if Berta decides to show bunt again. Move over to second. The throw to second winds up in center field. That's throw into third, trying to get Halverson advancing, but he dives in safely. Now, the runner at first is going to stay home, so after the error, that will put runners at the corners, still with nobody out, and still a situation where you probably think Berta is going to go ahead and bunt here. But you also might see Wheeler on the move. After Berta in the order, it's the number 8 hitter, Aiden Perez, waits on deck for Wasilla. Here's the pitch. It's an upstairs fastball. It misses. The count is 1-0 to Bridger Berta. And like I said, he leads the Road Warriors in hitting, batting .471 this year. He's got 5 RBI on the season. He's 1 for 1 today as he takes an inside fastball for a strike. On the move is Wheeler. He's going to get in safely as they decide to try to cut off the throw down to second with the pitcher in hopes of baiting Halverson to try to score. But instead, now you just have 2 men in scoring position for the team's leading hitter. The 1-0 pitch is in there. The count of ball and 2 strikes now as that last pitch before this outside fastball was an inside fastball that was called for a strike. So 1-2, the count to Berta. And here's the delivery from Wood, and Berta chases one above his head to go down on strikes for the out. Well, this will bring up Aiden Perez. Perez 0 for 1 in the contest. He inherits the same situation. 2 men in scoring position, although now 1 out in the frame. Wood back to working from the windup with that runner on third. First pitch misses down and away. The count is 1-0. Might have been a changeup trying to get Perez to chase a little bit there, but wisely lays off and again gets ahead. Perez this season for the Road Warriors batting .364. And he sends a shot to left field. Moving over is the left fielder, Sherman. He gets underneath it to make the catch. Halverson tagging to score from third, and he will. Wasilla gets on the board at the bottom of the fourth inning. They still trail 3-1, but getting that first run across here in this inning. Wheeler stayed at second, by the way, so he'll remain in scoring position, although now with 2 outs for Cade Russell. Russell will be a senior next year. And the runner on the move from third. Wheeler got a crazy head start out there as Wood motioned home. And Wheeler got a very good jump to steal third there. I believe the pitch was called a ball. I'll have to recollect the count. Here's a deep fly ball left field. Sherman is going to make the catch over the shoulder on the run. Oh, man, what a great catch by Sherman out there in left. Hayden, tip of the cap to you, young man, as he gets his team out of the bottom of the fourth inning. But Wasilla does score a run in the frame. They do it with one base hit. A couple errors helped him out, but they leave a runner stranded as we go to the fifth. The score is 3-1. Palmer leads Wasilla on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Getting set for the top of the fifth inning in a 3-1 ball game in which the Palmer Pioneers lead the Wasilla Road Warriors, the first of what will be 7 games over the next couple of days here at Bumpus Field in Wasilla, Alaska. We have got this single game happening tonight, and then we're back at it at 11 a.m. when Palmer will host Madisonville from Kentucky, and then Wasilla will play that Madisonville Rangers team. Palmer returns to the field at 4 o'clock to play the Klamath Falls Falcons. The Falcons will stick around for the nightcap to play Wasilla. And then coming up on Wednesday, the Falcons take on Madisonville before our championship game at 4 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon. Here's the pitch. It misses inside. The count is 1-0 to Chase Carlson. It's the top of the Palmer order due up in the fifth. That's Carlson, Craner, and Otto. Guzman still on the hill working for Wasilla. Here's the pitch. That one misses down and in. The count is now 2-0 to Carlson, who is 0 for 2 in the contest. Has struck out in each of his first 2 at-bats so far. But here ahead in the count, 2-0. Guzman fires away. Goes upstairs with a fastball. The count now 3-0. Palmer scored all of their runs back in the third inning. Wasilla responded with their single run in the bottom of the fourth. Now Guzman trying to get his bats back up to the plate as they seem to have found some life in that last half inning as that pitch misses outside, and a 4-pitch walk is how he'll start to Carlson. Not the way you were looking to start, as it brings up Reed Craner, the starting shortstop for Palmer today. Craner on the season batting .235. As a team, Palmer only batting .249 as they enter play 2-5 on the season. But again, one of their wins coming against this Wasilla squad. Pitch swung on and missed, goes off speed, and that time Craner chases strike one as Guzman gets ahead. Runner at first is Carlson, and again, Cody Otto is on deck for Palmer. Guzman set, move over to first, and diving back safely is Carlson. Been very worried about those runners over there at first today, but Palmer hasn't been too aggressive on the base paths. But another move over to first, they got him run down in a pickle. The throw to second, and now turning back is Carlson, but they apply the tag to him on his way back to first. So make me eat my words, I suppose. They continue to check on that runner at first, and it pays off for Wasilla to collect their first out in the top of the fifth inning. The count will still be 0-1 to Reed Craner, but now he'll bat with the bases empty. Guzman with a big smile on his face. I'm sure he's glad to get rid of that base runner after offering up the walk. I can see the grin from here. The pitch on the way to Craner goes curveball and produces the swing and the miss. The count is now 0-2. Might have been a slider, something with some lateral movement as he's mixed in those pitches nicely, along with that firm fastball. See where he goes here on the 0-2. Goes curveball again, and again a foul ball. The count is 0-2, remains to Craner. Craner 1 for 2 today. Had a single last time around and knocked in an RBI. Also scored a run. All right, Guzman back on the hill in an 0-2 count with one away in the top of the fifth inning of a 3-1 ball game. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, and down goes Craner for the second out in the fifth inning. And this will bring up Cody Otto. Otto on the season for Palmer, second on the team in hitting, batting .389 to start his summer. Now for him, he will be class of 27, a junior to be in Palmer. Here's the pitch. It's a two-seam fastball, nice location inside to the left-handed hitter. It started in off the plate, but just crept back over and in there for strike one. And the 0-1 pitch is an off-speed pitch and got Otto well out in front. The count 0-2. Guzman goes hard in and then slow away. He can go just about anywhere in an 0-2 count. Here's the pitch. Curveball grounded towards second. Perez will come up with it cleanly. The throw on to first is in time. It was close. Otto really hustling down the line. Almost beat it out, but instead the Palmer Pioneers will go down in order in the top of the fifth inning. They still maintain the lead 3-1 over the Road Warriors. To the bottom of the fifth we go on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
Pacific Power works day in and day out to power our communities because we know our neighbors rely on us. We're trimming and clearing branches around poles and lines, protecting our system, and giving you real-time updates when storms roll in. You can count on us in all seasons. 24/7, we're here for you. Powering your greatness.
So we got a swap coming in for Palmer in the bottom of the fifth inning. Sawyer Lingang is in the game at third, coming in for Chase Carlson. That's the only change so far, as Clay Wood, still on the hill for Palmer as they lead Wasilla 3-1 in the first game of the 2025 Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament. Here is the first pitch to Guzman. It's the top of the order for Wasilla. He takes that pitch low and away. The count is 1-0. So Guzman, Johnson, and Sivelich do up this half for Wasilla. Here's the delivery on the way from Wood. Upstairs fastball misses. The count is 2-0. Tournament here in Wasilla, of course, the namesake of one Todd Ryan, the longtime baseball coach. Well, not really long time. Tragically passed away early in 1991, but was really in part of the community here in Wasilla. Played Legion baseball, played multiple sports for the high school, became a coach. It was a long time, and as that pitch finds the zone, evens the count 2-2. Was in a car accident that ended his playing career in the late 80s and then tragically passed in 1991. And 10 years later, in 2000, the tournament created in his namesake, still being played to this day. As Guzman goes down looking at strike three in the 2-2 count, he'll be the first out in the bottom of the fifth inning. So now stepping in is Jacob Johnson. Johnson 0 for 2 in the ball game, trying to get something started for the Road Warriors. Pitch on its way, and it's hit in the air, left field. Sherman, in a couple of steps, puts it away for the second out. Wood doing a good job of being economical with his pitch count. That was only the 52nd pitch of the game. Now 2 outs in the 5th inning. Like I said, he's been making pretty quick work of Wasilla so far in the game, and that's despite a handful of errors behind him. And his team continuing to maintain the lead despite committing those 5 errors. Here's Chase Sivelich getting ready to step in now, batting, he's 1 for 2 today. He'll take a look at a curveball that misses low and away there. The count is 1-0. Sivelich this season is batting .353 for Wasilla. Line drive, right field, and a sliding catch, and a great job by Broder in right field. We've seen some fantastic defense in the outfield today, and Broder just adding another chapter to get his team out of the 5th inning. We'll go to the 6th, and Palmer leads 3-1 on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
Drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Clown Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Clown Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
Set for the top of the 6th inning on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com. Day number 1 of the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament here at Bumpus Field in Wasilla, Alaska. It is 3-1, and Palmer leads the host team Wasilla. 3 runs on 4 hits, 5 errors for the Pioneers, but they've been able to maintain this advantage. 1 run on 3 hits, 2 errors for the Road Warriors, and we get set for this 6th inning. It's going to be the middle of the Palmer order. That's going to be Timothy Bridgman, Hayden Sherman, and Easton Cook as we get set here. Middle of the order still looking for their first hit between these 3 guys. 0 for 6 today as Guzman enters his 6th inning of work. We'll check the line score for him specifically after we get the first pitch in to Bridgman. All right, here we go. Ready to start the top of the 6th inning. Pitch on its way. It is hit in the air foul, right side for Guzman. Today in his 5 innings of work, 4 hits, 3 runs. 2 of them earned. He's walked 1. He's struck out 5 through those 5 innings. He's been good. He's mixed up his location well. He's mixed up his speed well. He's left a couple of high fastballs that Palmer has taken advantage of, but aside from that, he's been pretty efficient so far today. The count right now, a ball and a strike to Bridgman, starting second baseman for Palmer. Delivery on the way from Guzman in the 1-1. Goes inside with the fastball, and Bridgman takes it the other way. Fly ball into right field, but caught by Johnson in right for the first out in the 6th inning. This will bring up Hayden Sherman, the starting left fielder for Palmer today. Sherman 0 for 2 on the day. On the season, batting .118 for the Pioneers. Takes an inside breaking ball, 0-1. A good location there by Guzman. Started the curveball in on the hands of the right-handed hitter and just broke back across the plate in for strike 1. Now Guzman delivers the 0-1 pitch. Goes curveball again. This is a line drive to left field. That time Sherman was able to sit on it and collected the one-out base hit. For Palmer, 5th hit of the day for them. First for Sherman, and he's aboarded first with 1 out in the 6th inning. And with that, it'll be Easton Cook, the designated hitter for Palmer. Again, Cook is 0 for 2 today as well. But this will be his 3rd look at Guzman as he's back on the rubber, ready to deliver the pitch. Guzman kicks. No, he takes a check move over to first and back safely is the runner at first, Sherman. I said Cook is 0 for 2 in this ball game. Bats .188 this season for Palmer. He is 3 for his first 16 on the summer. Again, still a small sample size. These guys really just getting rolling at the beginning of the summer for really both of these teams. Pitch on the way, showing bunt. The bunt is popped up down the third base side. The third baseman comes in. Sivelich makes the catch. Throw to first across the diamond. He is safe. The first baseman, Halverson, can't believe it. Trying to say that he applied the tag, but there's going to be no arguing on that one. What a great play by the third baseman, Sivelich, though. A bunt popped up, came sprinting in down the third base line to make that catch. That was a really good hustle play in the infield. And are the umpires going to talk about this? Thought he might have been out at first, but looks like Coach Ken Ottinger is going to head on back to the dugout. It was a very close play at first. I thought that the first baseman, Halverson, had applied the tag. We know he didn't get back to the base. That's for sure. But apparently did not apply the tag. Runner will remain at first with 2 outs, and this will bring up Tristan Berry. Berry is 2 for 2 today. A couple of singles for him. Another move over to first, and again, back safely is Sherman. They've had him pretty close over there at first now a couple of times. And Wasilla maybe justifiably frustrated that they're still in this inning as we call time. Let's see. Oh, they're going to call balk on Guzman now. They're going to say he twitched out there on the mound. And so now that runner moves up to second. And it's just been a series of unfortunate events for Wasilla. The silver lining is you still have 2 outs in the inning, so really you can just go attack Tristan Berry. But again, Berry's been good today. He's 2 for 2 with a run scored. A couple of singles on the ledger for him so far. Guzman set. And the pitch home goes high and in with the fastball. It misses. The count is 1-0. After Berry in the order, it's Hudson Broder, the number 8 hitter in the order. All right, here's the 1-0 pitch on the way. This will be pitch number 70 for Guzman. Loops in the breaking ball in for a strike. 1-1, the count to Berry. This run goes a long way for Palmer here in the 6th. You get out to a 3-run lead, and you feel a little bit safer in that. But here's a fly ball to center field. Russell going back, makes the catch on the run. No, it pops out of his glove. An error in center field is going to allow a run to score. And safe at first is Berry, and Palmer leads 4-1. That was right in the glove of Russell out there, but just inexplicably popped out, and that will extend the inning. I believe that is the 3rd error committed there for Wasilla, leading to another unearned run against Guzman. And now, with a runner at first, he'll have to face Hudson Broder. Now, Broder's 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. He was also hit by a pitch in the ball game. Guzman delivers. It's a fastball over the heart of the plate. The count is 0-1. New score of 4-1 after Palmer added that run just a moment ago. Now up by 3. Like I said, that you start to feel a little bit more comfortable in a 3-run lead going into the 6th inning. Of course, with Wasilla being the home team, the host team today, they'll still get a chance in the 7th as the 0-1 is swung on and missed 0-2. Hudson, then Wyatt Beal is on deck for Palmer. Guzman set, checks that runner at first. Not too much of a lead for Berry off the bag over there. And the 0-2 pitch is on its way. Slider lifted towards right center field. That one could be tough to get to, but the right fielder Johnson makes the catch on the run, and that will end the inning. Palmer does score once in the sixth, and they lead 4-1 as we go to the bottom half on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
At MyBasin.com, we bring you the power of local radio,
the pace and reach of social media,
the information of 24-hour news,
and the excitement of local sports.
We do this with a team of radio professionals that is second to none.
Klamath Falls is a community that we love and a place that we are proud to call home.
Klamath Falls deserves a media group that is as committed to you as you are to Klamath Falls.
MyBasin.com is your go-to place for news,
sports, events, and everything going on at home in Klamath Falls.
Bottom of the sixth inning, and Palmer leads Wasilla 4-1 in the first game of the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament here in Wasilla, Alaska. Brought to you live on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com by Alaska 529. You can visit them online at Alaska529plan.com. You can start your savings account for your child's education today. One plan and a whole lot of paths with Alaska 529. Visit them again online at Alaska529plan.com. Allowing this broadcast to be brought to you live on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com. Again, glad to be with you today. My name is Josh Eldridge. I'll be with you all tournament long right here at Bumpus Fields. First pitch misses upstairs. The count is 1-0. As leading off this inning for the Road Warriors is going to be their cleanup hitter, Jaron Beanie, followed by Waylon Halverson and Gabe Wheeler. Again, 4-5-6. This half inning due up for Wasilla as they try to climb themselves out of a 3-run deficit. And the pitch on the way from Wood is a curveball in the zone. Started out of the zone, but then dipped right back across the plate. And the count of ball and 2 strikes. Wood has thrown well today. We'll take a check at the line score for him here in just a moment. After he delivers the 1-2 pitch, goes curveball again. And yes, he did. Vini checked his swing, tried to dodge the tag a little bit at home. But after striking out, tries to smile a little bit, take a silver lining on a goofy situation, but never love a strikeout. Vini goes down as 0-for-3 today. This will now bring up Waylon Halverson. Before we take a look at him, again, the line score for Clay Wood through his first now 5 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. It's not earned. He's walked 1 and struck out 4 batters. That's including the most recent punch out against Vini. He'll start out Halverson with a curveball away for ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It looked to be a changeup, and the count is even now at a ball and a strike. Palmer Pioneers won the game last time these two squads met. A ground ball to first, fielded by the first baseman. Now a foot race to the first base bag is won by Cody Otto. Had to slide into first as the defensive player to create the out, but a nice job there defensively. Now 2 away in the bottom of the 6th inning. We really have seen some, I guess truthfully, we've seen kind of both ends of the defensive spectrum today. We've seen some really incredible plays in the outfield, and then we've seen some routine balls that have turned into errors. But that time, we'll take the former. That was a really great play down at first by Otto, as the first pitch is a strike 1 breaking pitch to Gabe Wheeler, who is 1-for-2 today. The next offering to Wheeler is another off-speed pitch. That one misses below the zone, 1-1. Like I said, we have 8 combined errors between the two teams today, but we probably have just as many outstanding defensive plays. Running catches in the outfield, over-the-shoulder catches in the outfield, sliding catches in the outfield, a great play down at third base on a bunt fly ball, and most recently that one over there at first. Count now 3-1 to Wheeler as he takes that pitch off the outside of the plate, and he can be a little bit picky now in a 3-1 count. Well, he's going to offer up at it and send a ground ball out to short. Craner, the throw is going to take the first baseman off the bag and wind up over his head. And an error will extend the sixth inning. Palmer commits their sixth error of the ball game there, allowing Wheeler to reach first. And that will bring up Bridger Berta. Has to drop the shin guards before he steps into the box as the starting catcher today for Wasilla. But he will try to move that guy on over as they've been gifted a break. It's starting to look like now or never time a little bit for Wasilla. They're going to call a balk. What do we got here? Okay, so here's what's going on. So it sounds like maybe they tried some kind of hidden ball trick or something for Palmer, but the pitcher, Wood, was on the mound without the baseball. He towed the rubber and everything, and so that's where you get the balk, and the runner advancing to second on that. So ball one fired in to Berta. Berta 1 for 2 today for Wasilla. He also struck out in his other at-bat. Takes an inside two-seam fastball for a strike as Wood evens the count at 1. But like I said, for Wasilla, you like to at least get one of those runs back and not have such a tall mountain to climb in the last of the 7th. Another ground ball to the third base side winds up foul, and the count is 1-2. You can tell these guys know each other good. I mean, talking about these two teams, they share a league together. But, of course, here in the Mat-Su Valley outside of Anchorage, I'm sure these guys play a lot of baseball games against each other. And it seems like every time a Wasilla and a Palmer player get close together, they are sharing a smile or a chuckle, even in a situation where you might be frustrated with yourself. When you're able to play ball with your friends and people you know, it makes it all that much better. Pitch just misses off the outside. A good location for Wood to try and get Berta to chase the outside fastball, but a really good take by Berta to spit on that pitch, and the count runs full. Palmer going to go ahead and switch around the baseball a little bit. Again, appreciate you joining us today on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com. Broadcast brought to you also in part by the Alliance here in Alaska, in charge of most things Legion Baseball, allowing me to broadcast the games to you all week long. As a full count pitch popped up out of play, foul. We'll do it again, 3-2. I'm primarily stationed out of Klamath Falls, Oregon. Made the trip with the Klamath Falls Falcons, who will be playing not only here in Wasilla this week, but also in Anchorage for the 529 midseason classic there. Foul ball back into the glove of the catcher, Beal. That'll be strike 3, and it will get Palmer out of the inning, holding on to a 4-1 lead as we go to the 7th on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends. Yeah! Be great.
Participate.
It's the top of the 7th inning, and Palmer, the visitors today, lead the Wasilla Road Warriors 4-1. They'll look to add some insurance in this half inning and extend their lead just a little bit. Due up for them is going to be 9-1-2 in their order. That'll be Wyatt Beal, Sawyer Leangang, and Reed Craner. Beal with an RBI double his first time around this game. But he is, with that RBI, just 1 for 2 still. But it was a really hard hit ball. The only extra base hit for Palmer so far in this game. He sends another deep fly ball to left field. But this time, a playable ball for the left fielder Wheeler. He puts it away. 1 pitch and 1 out in the top of the 7th inning. Want to remind you to join us tomorrow morning as the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament continues. We'll be back with a game beginning at 11 a.m. between Palmer and Madisonville, Kentucky. Pitch on the way. It's a fastball, ground ball towards second. Perez up with it. 2 pitches and 2 outs in the 7th inning as Leangang goes down. That was his first at-bat of the game. It was short-lived. He's 0 for 1 as there are 2 outs now in the inning, top of the 7th, and in steps Reed Craner. Reed is 1 for 3 today with an RBI and a run scored. Bats from the right side, trying to get a little 2-out rally started for his team, or maybe just take a pitch, as it's been, again, 2 pitches and 2 outs. That one will bounce to the plate. The count is 1-0 to Craner. On deck is Cody Otto, hoping for a chance for Palmer. Delivery on the way from Guzman is also going to miss outside. The count is 2-0. Guzman going for the complete game, although if this lead holds, he would be on the hook for the loss, despite pitching very well through 6 2/3 thus far. Falls behind to this batter 2-0, and a curveball lifted to the right side, foul. He battles back. The count is 2-1. Guzman gets the ball back, stands on the rubber, kind of off to the left side of it, out of the windup. The catcher, Berta, gives the sign, gives the target, and here's the pitch. Misses inside. Looked like he tried to go inside breaking ball against the right-hander, but didn't break enough. It stayed inside. The count now 3 balls and a strike from Guzman. Settling in his Craner, and the delivery on its way. Fastball fouled back, and the count runs full now, 3-2. All right. Been a full count. Guzman ready to go with the pitch. Fastball again rolled foul. Real battle brewing here with Reed Craner, the shortstop for Palmer, trying to find a way to get on base. And if anything, making Guzman work a little bit here. Like I said, only 2 outs in the first 2 pitches. This will be pitch number 7 of the at-bat, and it's again fouled off. Ripped a breaking ball down the line at third, and guys from Palmer cheering on their third base coach, making a clean play down there in the third base coaching box. All right, count remains 3-2, and Guzman ready to deliver the pitch. Goes submarine, changes the arm angle, but misses upstairs. And that'll be ball 4, and a 2-out base runner for Palmer will bring up Cody Otto. That was a totally different delivery from Guzman there. Goes full submarine and misses high on that pitch. Trying to find the put away, but didn't work out for him there. Wonder if he'll return to it during this at-bat. Otto stepping in now. He is 0 for 3 on the ball game. Move over to first, and that one gets by the first baseman. And are they going to call interference? I think they might. Let's see. Who's the interference on? Or are they just going to allow the runner to advance to second? Okay, so there it was. So it was interference as the runner dove to get back to first, tripped over Halverson on his way back up, and so he was awarded second, even though he probably would have got there anyway. He is now into scoring position. And so now a chance for Otto to get that insurance I was talking about. Palmer battling here in this inning. Guzman set. Here's the pitch. Popped up, left side of the infield, looks playable. The third baseman will make the catch. Silovich puts it away, and the Road Warriors get out of the inning, leaving a man in scoring position. They will try to come back, tie, or walk it off in the bottom of the 7th inning. They trail 4-1. Back after this on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
Drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Klamath Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Clown Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
Bottom of the seventh inning, and Palmer leads Wasilla 4-1. Up this inning for the Road Warriors as they try to make their way back into this ball game. It'll be Aiden Perez, Cade Russell, and Ramon Guzman do up this half inning. That's 8, 9, and 1 as they look for 3 runs to tie or 4 to walk off the Palmer Pioneers in Game 1 of the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament. First pitch on the way from Wood is going to be in the dirt. The count 1-0. The Wasilla dugout revitalized here in this half inning. They're trying to get their team back into things here. Pitch on its way to Perez. Came in and hit him, and a leadoff base runner for Wasilla. And, you get these two teams on the field. This one is not over until it's over. Flash you back to the first meeting between these two teams this season. A 7-6 win for the Road Warriors. They needed extra innings to do it, but a walk-off single for the man we'll see now, Cade Russell, is going to be ready to step in now. Pardon me, it wasn't a walk-off, but it was in the top of the 8th inning in which Russell scored that winning run for Wasilla, and now is just trying to get on base. It's a different situation as a home run here or something big. It doesn't get you really all the way back in, but if you get on base with the top of the order due up next, well, you feel pretty good about that for Wasilla, giving yourself a chance back at the ball game. Wood again checks the runner on first, but Perez is back safely. And by the way, in that 8th inning that I continue to talk about where Wasilla came back against Palmer back on June 15th, it was Perez who led off the inning by getting on base. And there he is at first there as strike one is in the zone to Russell. Here's the pitch from Wood. That one drifts outside. 1-1. That was a similar game to the one that we see here today, where Wasilla had chances early. Palmer battled back through the middle innings, and Wasilla would eventually storm back for a win, as the count is now 2-1. Now, we're still yet to see if the conclusion is the same, but the Road Warriors, they feel like they've been here before, and that's why their dugout is alive, and they are confident, still down 3 with a runner at first in the 7th inning. A foul ball, the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Russell, who's 0 for 2 on the ball game, but again, looking to leave his mark in the bottom of the 7th inning. The right-hander chokes up a little bit in a 2-strike count. Move over to first. Perez again back safely. Cade Russell looks down the pitcher, Clay Wood. Again, chokes up on the at-bat, sends a fly ball left field. Sherman will make the catch for the first out in the 7th inning. Hit pretty much right to Sherman out there and left to collect the out. Back to the top of the order now for Wasilla. These are the guys you want up in these situations. It's Ramon Guzman, the starting pitcher. He'd be on the hook for a loss unless he can find a way to spark his team a comeback here. Perez did his job over there at first, and after Russell flew out to left, now the pressure falls on Ramon Guzman. The right-handed hitter settles in. He shows bunt, lays it down in front of the pitcher. Wood comes up with it. He throws on to first for the out, but the runner advances into scoring position as Perez advances. And now Jacob Johnson bats with 2 gone in the bottom of the 7th. His team down 3. And a runner in scoring position. So far today, Johnson is 0 for 3, looking to come up with his first hit here. Batting from the left side, the first pitch from Wood is a two-seam fastball, elevated in the zone, but right around the letters in there for strike one. Left-handed batter Johnson settles back in against Wood. Johnson batting .333 this season, but he takes strike two, and the Road Warriors down to their final strike here in Game 1. Wood looks in, comes set, and delivers. That one's hit in the air, center field. Routine fly ball, Barry moving over. He will make the catch. Nice catch on the run. The wind caught that one, making it not so routine, but he will make the catch for the final out, and the Palmer Pioneers are victorious in Game 1 of the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament, taking this one against Wasilla 4-1. Stick with us for just a moment here on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com. We'll give you final totals, and we'll set you up for a big day tomorrow with 4 games here at Bumpus Fields. So stick with us for just a moment, and we'll be back on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com.
Pacific Power works day in and day out to power our communities because we know our neighbors rely on us. We're trimming and clearing branches around poles and lines, protecting our system, and giving you real-time updates when storms roll in. You can count on us in all seasons. 24/7, we're here for you. Powering your greatness.
The cars we drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Klamath Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Klamath Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
As a parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
Final score in game number 1 of the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament in Wasilla, Alaska. It's the Palmer Pioneers who defeat the Road Warriors 4-1. For Palmer, 4 runs on 5 hits. They commit 6 errors. For Wasilla, 1 run on 3 hits. They commit 3 errors. The winning pitcher today would be Clay Wood, who pitched a complete game 3-hitter, only giving up 1 run. It was unearned, and he struck out 5. The losing pitcher today, Ramon Guzman, and he picks up the loss despite a really quality start today, pitching a complete game, giving up 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 earned. He did walk 2, and he struck out 5. Couple of offensive notables today. We'll start with the victors, and that's Palmer, as a 2-for-3 day for Tristan Berry, and a run scored helped power his team to a win. 1-for-1 today for Reed Craner. 1-for-3 day for Reed Craner. He had an RBI in the contest. The other RBI went to Wyatt Beal. His double was the only extra base hit for Palmer in the game. He finished 1-for-3 with an RBI and a run scored. Hits a little bit harder to come by for Wasilla today. Singles for Civilich, Wheeler, and Berta were all the offense for Wasilla in the game. The one RBI went to Perez on a sacrifice fly, and that was back in the 4th inning. So with this win, Palmer on the season improves to 3-5 overall, 1-0 in the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament. Wasilla falls to 6-2 on the season, and they are 0-1 to start the tournament. A big, long day of baseball tomorrow, as we will be here at 11 a.m. as Palmer faces Madisonville from Kentucky. Then Wasilla takes their turn against Madisonville. That's at 1:30. At 4 o'clock, the Alaska teams, starting with Palmer, will take on the Klamath Falls Falcons from Klamath Falls, Oregon. And as always, all 4 of those games you'll be able to find a hot link to on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com. And then Wednesday, of course, with the single game, the Klamath Falls Falcons take on Madisonville at 1 o'clock, with the title game scheduled for 4 o'clock right here at Bumpus Fields. Thank you so much for joining us, if it was just for a little while or it was all day long, here on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com. Want to again recognize the sponsors that made today's broadcast possible: the Alliance here in Alaska, the Alaska Sports Report. Also want to highlight Alaska 529 and Alaska Airlines for sponsoring the broadcast of every single game of the tournament at the Todd Ryan Memorial Tournament on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com. Also want to thank the head coaches for both teams today for getting me everything that I would have needed to prepare for a broadcast. Of course, Coach Ken Ottinger for the Wasilla Road Warriors, and his manager Rob Guzman was great getting me ready for the game today, and for Palmer as well. Coach Carlson and Coach Otto were great at helping me get ready today as well. Also want to give a shout-out to Van Williams with the Alliance and Alaska Sports Report for allowing me to broadcast all of these games and working together with me to get all these games brought to you for free this week on AlaskaLegionBaseball.com. Like I said, we are back here tomorrow at 11 a.m. when Palmer takes on Madisonville from Kentucky. Until then, though, my name is Josh Eldridge. Have a great rest of your night, and so long from Bumpus Fields in Wasilla, Alaska.